Good morning, students. Let us see the applications of adsorption. In the previous class, we have seen adsorption and its differences between physical and chemical adsorption, and I am going to explain you today about the applications of adsorption. So, where it is using adsorption. So, first one is production of high vacuum. Means what? Generally, whenever we take air, okay, in the atmosphere, whenever we are taking air, still it remains in the vessel. So if you have taken a long some glass tube like this, like round bottom flask like vessels, big flask, so whenever you are taking what here, there will be air inside. So when you do vacuum pump here, means which you give high vacuum, so means what happens, still it remains the air. At that time what happens means, so whenever it is remaining air in the inside the tube, so there will be a charcoal, means it is this vacuum, means the empty space which is having air, still it is absorbing air. When we are removing vacuum also by vacuum pump, so then also what happens, by the air automatically what happens, if we take charcoal, so the charcoal is absorbing this vacuum space. So means what, here it is absorbing the charcoal. So means what we can say, production of, so we can use simply high vacuum, means we can easily protect the vacuum by using charcoal. Okay, so to give high vacuum, so means by this we can say the air still remaining, the air still remaining in the vessel evacuated by vacuum pump to give high vacuum can be absorbed by charcoal, can be absorbed by charcoal. Okay, so this is about first application, and let us see about next application, gas mask. So gas mask is nothing but what means here, so it is like a mask which is having, so like a helmet we are having like this, so inside we are having the gas, so like this we are going to have some holes. So if any toxic effects, if suppose any poisonous gases is releasing, so or air pollutants, so those type of things was protected by gas masks. Simply we can say coronavirus also is protected by our gas masks. So this is a device, generally it is like a face mask, so which is having like a helmet it is going to have, so it cannot be used by everyone. Okay, it mainly used by coal miners. So in Singareni, if we have seen the coal which are digging the coal, so means what happens here, the mask what we are taking, those type of candidates, means if you, we are in a toxic effects, means if we are working with poisonous gases like air pollutants like that, if we are getting, or coal mines, so which will damage our hearts, yes or no. So breathing also very difficult, but what happens here, this mask will protect us to breathe. So these type of masks were used as gas mask, so this one we call it as gas mask. So this is a device which consists of activated charcoal, or mixture of adsorbents is used by coal miners to absorb poisonous gas during breathing. Means this will protect the gas mask. Inside this mask we are having a gas molecule, some mixture of chemicals, so which can protect our breathing from the poisonous gases. That when we call it as what here, gas masks. So general this can application. So next one is control humidity. Generally, what is humidity? Whenever the water vapors is present in the air, which we can't see. So that when we call it as what here? Humidity. So to control the humidity, we are using certain types of adsorbents. So those type of adsorbents which we can use to control moisture and to control humidity air or in rooms. So this is the main, those are the adsorbents we are using. The main adsorbents we use for controlling the humidity is nothing but here, that is silica gel and alumina gel are used as adsorbents. These two are the gels which we are using for removing moisture in the air and controlling humidity of air in rooms. So this is the way to control in air the humidity. We will be getting the temperatures. For example, today temperature is 28 degrees. Tomorrow is 31 degrees. Means what happening? These two gels will control the humidity in the air. Okay. So and the next application we can take is removal of coloring matter. Next, what is next application? Removal of coloring matter from solutions. So this is the next application. So generally what here we are taking animal charcoals. So whenever we take animal charcoal, it remove color, means we are getting impure color solutions. If suppose I need red color, if suppose it is getting some dirty color like that, so means what here, there will be some charcoals like animal charcoal which will give correct color and it will remove impurities. That one we call it as what here, removal of coloring matter from solutions. So here mainly used adsorbent is here what, animal charcoal. So if we use animal charcoal here, it removes what here, it removes colors of impure colored solution. Impure color solutions by adsorbing impurities. By absorbing impurities which is responsible for the color. That this is about removal of coloring matter from solutions. And the next application is heterogeneous catalysis. First, what is the first catalyst? Production of high vacuum, gas marks, control of humidity, removal of coloring matter from solutions. And next one is heterogeneous catalysis. Generally, what do you mean by catalyst? Which will participate, means which will in the reaction but does not participate in the reaction. Means it will, to speed up the reaction, mainly we are going to say that when we call it as what here, catalysis. Heterogeneous means what? Which is in the different phases. Means the reactant and the catalyst what we are taking, those two are in the different phases. We call it as heterogeneous catalyst. So how it is working? Means how it is undergoing adsorption in heterogeneous catalysis is nothing but here, whenever we are taking reactants from this solid surface reactions, so here there will be a solid catalyst, okay, but the gas we are using here is different. So that is nothing but adsorption. For example, I am taking N2 plus 3H2 in the presence of Fe to NH3. So if you have observed here, this is a gas molecule, this is a gas molecule, ammonia is also a gas molecule. Coming to iron, what happens here? It is a solid. So whenever we are taking these reactant molecules on the solid surface, so means what here? These two are the reactants, this is a product. So this reactant is absorbing on the where? Solid surface. Means solid surface is nothing but here what we are taking? Iron. So this is the manufacture of ammonia by using, we can say, as iron as a catalyst by Haber's process, and also sulfuric acid by contact process. So means what? These are the examples. So this is about the heterogeneous catalyst. So what is the adsorbent here? Iron. So iron is acting as a adsorbent. So this is about heterogeneous catalysis example. And also we are having separation of inert gases. So what is next one? Separation of inert gases. To separate noble gas elements. What do you mean by inert gas elements? Helium, argon, krypton, xenon, neon. These all will come under the inert gases. So to separate those inert gases, so we have to use adsorbent. So what is that adsorbent? Coconut charcoal. Coconut charcoal is used as adsorbent at different temperatures. Different temperatures to remove the inert gases. And also in curing diseases, we can say a number of drugs will kill germs by getting themselves absorbed in germs, we can say. So in curing diseases also, curing diseases will be used. A drugs can kill. Drugs means medicines can kill germs by themselves. This is one of the example. And in Froth flotation process, which will be seen in the metallurgy, in Froth flotation process also we can see the process of adsorption, how it is absorbing the sulfide ore by separating silica gel. So that is about Froth flotation process. And also we are having adsorption indicators. So adsorption indicators is nothing but what here? There will be certain indicators. Mainly we are having agentometric titrations, which is known as precipitation titrations. So precipitation titration is nothing but what means? So mainly it is used for silver. So means what? That type of titrations we call it as agentometric titration. So if you have seen, there will be certain precipitations such as silver halides, which is observing dyes like which is absorbing dyes like eosin, fluorescein. So this is means the end point, it will give the agentometric, means which will give precipitate mainly. If we use these indicators, automatically what happens means this will remains a precipitate. That one we call it as what? Agentometric titrations. So next, chromatographic analysis. Chromatographic analysis is mainly, chromatography is nothing but what? Which is a color. So it will have different types of chromatographic technique, that is paper chromatography, gas chromatography, ionic chromatography, next thin layer chromatography, HPLC. So these all will be used by the adsorptions. So it mainly used as applications of analytical and also industrial. So this is also used as chromatographic techniques. So these are the applications of the Adsorption. And the first application is what here? Production of high vacuum. Second one is gas mark. Third one is control of humidity. Fourth one, removal of coloring matter from solutions. Fifth one, heterogeneous catalysis. Sixth one, separation of inert gases in curing diseases, flotation process, and also adsorption indicators and chromatographic analysis. So these are the applications of the adsorption. And next topic we are having is catalyst. So what is our next topic? Catalyst. So catalyst or catalysis we can say. Catalyst or catalysis. So general example I am saying. So if we are taking any food item, if suppose I am not having energy, to have energy what I should do? Some juice if I am drinking, so somewhat energy I am getting. So what happens? It is not participating in the reaction. So what happens if you observe? General example I am saying, if you take some juice, automatically somewhat energy we are getting, and through urine we can release that. Okay, so means what here? It is in the reaction but not, means what? Many chemical reactions which is used in industrial methods for preparation of to prepare a chemical reaction, there will be some slow reactions. Okay, to speed up the reaction, so under certain conditions we are using a catalyst. So that is nothing but catalysis. Okay, so there will be example of ammonia by Haber's process and also sulfuric acid. So here catalysis, many reactions which we use in the laboratory preparation are generally slow. So when we take some reactions in the labs, there will be some slow reactions. For example, I am taking potassium hypochlorite, KClO3. So whenever I used in the liberation, so there will be oxygen will be very slow. To release oxygen, the reaction is very slow. So we should have to speed up that reaction by using some substances. So for speeding up the reaction, which we use as substances to the reaction mixture, is called catalysis. Okay, so generally catalysis is nothing but here in Greek words, kata means holy, whole. Okay, and lysis is nothing but here to loosen. So means what? This catalyst, the substance add is catalyst. The word catalysis is introduced by Berzelius in 1836. So what is catalyst here? By seeing the introduction of catalyst, what we can say? This is the substance that increases the rate of a reaction, rate of a chemical reaction to which it is added itself without being consumed in the reaction is called what? Catalyst. So what here? When we add the catalyst, it is added in the reaction, but it is not consumed, means it is not participate. To speed up the reaction we can say. So it increases the reaction, chemical reaction, but it does not participate in the reaction. That one we call it as what here? Catalyst. So these are having, if we are Catalyst is not used in the reaction, it take part in the reaction. Means what here? It enters in only one step in the reaction mechanism, that is we call it as slow step, which is also known as rate determining step, we can say. So here if a substance is added, it reduces the rate of a chemical reaction, so that one we call it as what here? Negative catalyst. Okay, if the substance added, it reduces the rate of a chemical reaction, that one we call it as what here? Negative catalyst. So there will be some characteristics of catalysis. Let us see first one. What is the first characteristic? Is nothing but here a catalyst which is not does not participate in reaction. A catalyst does not participate in reaction, but only increase the rate of reaction. We call it as what? Catalyst. And it is not consumed in the reaction also, and it is chemically unchanged permanently. Okay, so here if you take small amount of catalyst, it is enough to change the speed of the reaction. A small amount is required. A small amount of catalyst is required to speed up the reaction. So a catalyst only functions under certain optimum conditions. Okay, conditions of temperature, pressure and pH. So means what here? A catalyst functions under optimum conditions like temperature, pressure and pH, etc. Okay, so a catalyst does not affect the position of equilibrium in reversible chemical reactions. It only helps to give the equilibrium. Means what? A catalyst can give equilibrium reactions quickly, we can say. So means it does not spoil the equilibrium reactions. So we can say that what here? A catalyst can give equilibrium reactions quickly, and also we can say it may loses its active power if suppose any harmful substances are present in the catalyst. So what happens? It loses. So by loss of activity of catalyst, we can say whenever the catalyst is losing its activity, any harmful substances are adding, that one we call it as what? Catalytic poisoning. Means what? For example, if you take As2O3, arsenic trioxide, so act as a poison for platinum catalyst in the preparation of SO3 from SO2. So and O2. Automatically what happens here? H2S is a poisonous for iron catalyst in the preparation. So we can take, so means loss of activity, we can say here loss of activity of catalyst is by catalytic poison, we can say. Example we can say here H2S is a poisonous gas. H2S is a poison for Fe catalyst in the preparation of NH3 from N2 and ammonia gas. We can say Haber's process. Okay, H test is acting as a poison for what here? Iron. So automatically what happens? It does not participate in the reaction. So if the catalyst is changed, automatically some products also will be changed. So that is one of the characteristics we can say. Sometimes products are changed. If the catalyst is changed. Example, let us take CO, carbon monoxide plus 3H2. So if you are using nickel as a catalyst, so automatically what happens? It gives CH4 and H2O. So means what here? This is giving the another product. So this is about the catalyst. And if suppose if you are taking catalyst, take part in the reaction but is not consumed, I have told. So here whenever the catalyst is increasing the another, if you are adding another substances, it increases. So the another substance we call it as here promoter. For example, molybdenum functions as promoter for Fe catalyst in the Haber's process of ammonia synthesis. And not only that, if we take substances which act as better catalyst, that is nickel catalyst, which is used as a good catalyst, we can say here nickel is used as a good catalyst. Why? Because it is mainly undergoes hydrogenation. So means what happening here? It is undergoing addition of hydrogens we are going to takes place. If you have observed here, C double bond reduction is going to takes place. So means hydrogenation of oils into solid fats preparation. And also some substances which reduce the rate of reaction instead of increasing rate of reaction, that one we call it as what? Negative catalyst, I have told you. So those type of reactions we are taking example as H2O2, which is decrease in presence of glycerol. So glycerol is called a negative catalyst, we can say. Why? Because glycerol is decreasing the rate of reaction. So that's why we call it as it is a negative catalyst. And if we change temperature, it may increase or decrease the catalytic substances. For example, if I am taking metals and some metal oxides as catalyst. Suppose if I am taking metals and some metal oxides as catalyst, increases with increasing temperature. But here some catalysts which are used as enzymes, they lose their activity at higher temperatures. So we can say here, so which is the catalyst takes part in reaction but is not consumed. That one we call it as what here? Promoter. This one is a promoter. So example, if you have taken molybdenum is used as a promoter for iron, okay, in Haber's process. And not only this, if we take finally divided substances, finally divided substances act as better catalyst, we can say. Example, we can say nickel is the good catalyst for the preparation of hydrogenation of oils into solid fats. And also a negative the substances which reduces the reaction We call it as what here? Negative catalyst. Example, we can take glycerol in H2O2. So this is decreased. So this is about the characteristics of catalyst and definition of the catalyst. We are having homogeneous and heterogeneous catalysis definitions. Tomorrow I am going to explain you. Thank you.